Well, it's a bit of a struggle to get up this morning, but I managed it and I've made it back to one of my favourite lighthouses in Scotland. I've photographed this one probably more times than every other lighthouse put together, but I think it's a great place to come to mark the beginning of me restarting my lighthouse mission post-lockdown. So let's get started and see what beautiful, hopefully beautiful, sunrise conditions we've got waiting for us this morning. This morning what I'm trying to do is reconnect with my lighthouse photography mission. Now if you're new to my channel you probably won't know about this, but one thing I set out back in the springtime was this mission where I'm going to be travelling around Scotland trying to photograph every lighthouse that this country has to offer. I've always had a very close connection with the sea and lighthouses, and I thought it was a great mission and challenge to set myself. And basically this lighthouse I'm at this morning, Rattray Head, is one of 3 lighthouses, or 4 lighthouses actually, that are very close to my home. But this one is the one that I photographed the most, and I thought it would be nice this morning to get out and photograph it once again. Basically to try and reconnect with this mission in the hope that now that August is just arriving, I can begin now to start my mission again. So I'm not setting anything in stone just now because, like everywhere in the world, the COVID situation changes so rapidly. I don't want to plan all these trips for the coming months for travel restrictions to be put in place again. So what I do have is an idea of about 8 new lighthouses that I hope to tick off my bucket list before the end of the year, but I'm not going to obviously put that in stone because things could change. But I just wanted to basically come here this morning to restart my mission. Although it's a lighthouse I've photographed many times, it's great to come out and spend some time here again and reconnect with one of the locations that actually inspired me to start this. And for any of you who would like to support this mission, you can go onto my Ko-fi page and just buy me a £3 coffee, which would be fantastic and really help towards my mission. For all of you who have done it so far, you are going to be paying for a trip hopefully to Orkney in September to do some lighthouses, Skye in November to do some lighthouses, and the West Coast as well to do some lighthouses. But next year I'm planning a big trip to Harrison Lewis, so any help towards that to do these lighthouse missions would be very much appreciated. But let's get on with the photography this morning. It's not looking too hopeful, but I'm going to have to get creative because I want to go home with an image that I can be reasonably happy with. isn't that exciting this morning. One thing I'm doing is trying to find something a little bit more unique and interesting, and potentially an image that I can convert to black and white. So I've put my 8-stop filter on my camera, and what I've done is I've got down reasonably low and I've framed the lighthouse in between some grass that's on one of the sand dunes. And what I'm doing is that using the filter is allowing the grass to move in the wind, which is a bit risky in this weather actually, because the tripod is probably moving ever so slightly. You know, doing long exposures in windy conditions can be very challenging and difficult to not have any blur in your image, but because there's not much going on this morning and I'm struggling to get an image that I'm really happy with, I thought I would do this to try and experiment and do something a little bit different, because I think you do sometimes have to think outside the box to get those unique images. Now I have to be honest and say that I got this idea from a recent workshop client. Hello Dave, if you're watching. We were at Fintorn the other week and he was framing an image very similar to this, with a nice tree on the horizon with a beach and the beautiful grass is moving, and he also put a 10-stop filter on his camera. Mine's an 8-stop, his is a 10-stop, to allow the grasses to move, and it caused a really nice, interesting, dream-like image. So I thought I'd try it this morning. So thank you to Dave for giving me the inspiration to do this, and I'll show you now how it's turned out. You know, it's funny, I've photographed this location many times over the last few years, which I think I've already mentioned in this video. But no matter how many times I come back here, I have never been greeted with a golden, glowing, stunning sunrise where all the sand dunes and grasses are lit up and illuminated, and the lighthouse is a lovely silhouette or flashing beautifully against this incredibly colourful expanse. It's never happened. I know it happens here because I've seen other photographers get that shot, but no matter how many times I come here, it never seems to happen. And this video this morning is probably a little bit all over the place because I have to be honest and say that I had very high hopes for this morning. And the reason for that is because today we have got complete blue skies, stunningly beautiful, scorching day forecast today, and now the clouds are beginning to part and that blue sky that we have forecast for today is starting to appear. And last night we had this sort of stormy weather. It was a lot of rain, a lot of wind, and during the night that was meant to begin to move away so that we could be greeted with this beautiful morning of sunshine. So I thought or hoped this morning that that change in weather front that was happening overnight would have resulted in some really interesting clouds, the potential for a stunning sunrise, and I thought that I was finally, this morning, gonna get that photograph that I've dreamt of capturing here for years. But it just wasn't meant to be. Yet again, it wasn't meant to be. So when I woke up this morning and saw that it was still really cloudy and there was barely a break in the clouds, I was a bit disheartened, if I'm being honest, which is I've learned over the years, it's really bad to have expectations when you come to a location because it only leads in disappointment. But I have to say I'm not disappointed this morning because I have still enjoyed getting up early, coming here, reigniting with my lighthouse passion. And in fact, I met another photographer here called Adam who's doing a very similar mission to mine, but around the whole of the UK. So it's great to chat to him, to meet him and to sort of you know, compare notes and our lighthouse missions. And that would never have happened. I would never have met him if I hadn't have got out this morning with my camera. So every morning or every trip, every experience in life has a silver lining. And while I still haven't got that incredible photograph from here that I've dreamt of capturing for years now, I have had a great morning. It's been really enjoyable. And I'm just gonna have to keep coming back here time and time again until I get that image that I've been envisaging in my mind the last few years.